Make a Ren post it. Um, all right, everyone pile in here. We're still got the warm up going. Spa is running the same lineup as we saw in the scrim, looks like. GT in net. Paco is their center. Glenadal. Glennifer Aniston, number 89, at the wing. Madden making a guest appearance. He'll be riding bench, I'm sure. Bagel and Zoob as a D pairing. I really want to see that develop more. I've loved playing with Zoob in the past. Haven't played with Bagel a lot. Played against Bagel a lot. Great talent. On the other side, we have Echoes, Ottawa, Orbit, led by Panther and Echo as their forward pairing. And we have Fly and Cajun, the D. Cajun, known for having few hours, but great mechanics. Katie in net. Shout out to Katie, friend of the stream, just because she's a friend of me. Oh, Cajun is off ice, and he's on ice. So yeah, that's probably their starting lineup. We'll see how much longer this takes to start. Probably should have grabbed some water, but I thought I was done. Come on, pop it. There we go. Game starting. We have the orbit in blue, right? No, I mix it up. We have the sparks in blue, the orbit in red. And it's the sparks defending in their zone. 52 is Cajun. Carrying it through for the orbit. No, that's Fly Fire. Give me a break. What a save! Turned aside by Gold Trader. Closing off that open post right away. Fly Fire had a good chance. Echo drops it back to Panther. Back around to Echo. Good passing. Finds Fly Fire. Cajun playing that deep safety role. Glenn picks it off. Pops it out to Bagel. He's got Paco behind him, but covered well. Carries. Finds Zoob. No, not quite. Intercepted. Turned aside. Glenn manages to keep the forward pressure for the Sparks. Turned aside. I believe that was Echo. It was a great stick. Echo finding the puck again, but Paco rips it off, getting offensive pressure for the Sparks. Shot from the middle. Turned aside. Great defensive play again from the orbit. Just need to turn it around in transition. Echo gets turned aside. Fly Fire collects it. Kind of hemmed into the neutral zone for them. Great defensive showing from Zoob and Bagel so far. And Paco's going to take that for the Sparks. Flips it on net. Ooh, turned aside. Great work from Katie. Behind the net. Comes out to Bagel, carrying it into the corner, flips it in front, no one home. Zoob is chasing Echo. Paco with a better angle. A pass. The space gets picked off by the Sparks. And they've got some collisions with teammates, Paco and Bagel, to work out some early season roughness. Zoob comes away with it, keeps it in the offensive zone for the Sparks. We have Paco playing it. In front, nothing there. Cajun carrying, Paco pressuring. Panther's going to come away with that. Throws it opposite side of the ice, but Zoob takes it. No one home. Lots of pass plays, not really converting, not going anywhere. Finding empty ice, but not finding teammates. Cajun with it. Cross to Echo. Good pass. Bounces off the boards. Zoob with good pressure, and Bagel turning the pass attempt to the center aside. Fly Fire skating back to collect. Paco with the forecheck. That forecheck almost converts, but Fly Fire keeps it. Getting it out, looking for Cajun, misses the receive. And Panther puts a stick in there, but it bounces back to Zoob. We have Paco in alone on Fly Fire, gets around him, shot. Katie puts her face in front of the puck. That's dedication. Panther loses momentum. Bagel takes advantage, circles off the boards, carrying. Gets around one shot in front. Floats, but doesn't quite find Glenn, who is waiting there. Transitioning, Echo with it. Tries to get to Panther, doesn't work. Echo finds it again. Dangerous there, but no real attempt made. Puck floats and no one could quite get turned around to square up to it. Echo with a great forecheck. Doesn't get a chance off of it though. Cajun trying to make something happen. Echo chasing it in. Zub behind him. Pass to the middle. Bagel turns it aside. Zub with it. Carrying out of the defensive zone. Paco trailing behind him. Late middle. Zub kind of has a classic maneuver there. He always tends to do that where he just dangles into the top of the offensive zone towards the middle of the ice. It gets turned aside that time. He kept possession. Got a chance. It got turned aside. And Orbit took possession. A lot happened there. I was a little behind the play. Dude with a great pass to Paco, but takes a bad bounce off the stick. Finds Glenn around the back. Doesn't find Glenn around the back as it keeps going. I think Echo got a stick in there, and it bounced over Zub as well, and into the defensive zone of the Sparks. Coming to the end of the first period, Zub is going to try and send it in deep. Glenn gets a stick on it, but turned aside by the Orbit defense. After one, it's love. As we have a tie ball game, 0-0. We will see who manages to take the edge in the battle for Ottawa. Big Gooch joins the server and leaves. Ominous. Intermissions are quite long. Team gets some time to take deep breaths, play with their fidget toys, yell at each other, whatever they need done. A high pressure situation. Let's see who manages to turn the tide of this battle their way. Echo wins the face-off, walks Paco, and overhandles a bit, loses control. Paco and Bagel kind of have a scrum between themselves. Paco comes away with it, finds Bagel, a little makeup. Bagel carrying. Ooh, tries to find a backdoor chance to, I think that was Glenn, but not able to convert it. I believe Katie was there. Pass from Flyfire to Panther. Got interrupted on the way. Slowed down things. Play didn't quite work out how it's supposed to. We have Paco carrying behind his own net. Pressured by Echo. Dube kind of sitting there, not giving him an outlet. That's rough. Dube carrying up. Finds Bagel. And what a shot! Finds the corner near post. I absolutely adore that. I could probably type in like watch player Bagel, but that I'm slow. Just an absolute beauty snipe. That's hard for Katie to get to. As the Sparks go up 1-0, the defensive pairing showing out. Pass from Zub to Bagel. Bagel putting it home. And the Sparks are looking to create more, but it comes the other way. Flyfire carrying for Orbit. He has Echo on his right, but the defensive pairing of Zub and Bagel is hard to crack as the coverage was tight. Orbit are managing to keep pressure in the offensive zone. Eventually turned aside by Zub, who looks for Glenn, but it's just out of reach. Flyfire will take possession. But Glenn is there, gets a stick on it. Paco trying to turn the tides. I think Glenn gets this. Yes, good carry, Glenn. Tries to walk through three people. That doesn't usually go well, but he didn't have many options. Paco and Glenn working under the net together. Paco turns it back to Bagel. Bagel finds the corner with a little bit of space. Tries to throw it in front to Paco, but unable to get a chance off of that. Flyfire carrying out for the Orbit. Puck goes past Panther. Echo finds it. Panther stacks behind him. Nowhere to really go with the puck. And Glenn comes away with it. Carrying it now for the Sparks the opposite way. Finds Paco. Ooh, just Pass was on, but Paco could not have a good receive angle. Tried to skate in the middle, but turned aside. I believe Fly Fire was there. We have Zoob with a tough pass into Paco. Glenn collects. What a beauty. Ooh, and a great block from Cajun. Panther tries to carry, gets it turned aside. Zoob carrying. Pardon me. Got a tickle in my throat. Orbit. Chance. Turned aside by Gold Trader. What a save. Flyfire tries to get something going, but throws it wide. Orbit with a little bit of offensive pressure. Can they sustain? Nope. As it's coming the other way. Paco. Oh, it was early. Flyfire throws it over the net. Finds Echo. Tosses it in front. No one's home. I think Panther might get. No! Paco throws a stick out there. Bagel with it. Shot. Not able to stripe the corner this time as it goes wide near side post. We have Cajun carrying it out. Handles gently, throws it in a little too deep for Flyfire, who manages to collect though. Gold Trader turns it aside, and Bagel clears it out of the zone. Paco comes away with it. Pardon me. Goodness gracious. Allergies, man. We have Echo. Drops it for Panther. I don't know if it was intentional. Oh, and turned aside by Gold Trader. Way to put a stick out there. Absolutely insane save. Glennifer Aniston tries to get an offensive chance, but Flyfire is a tough nut to crack. Carrying. Looks for Cajun across. Bounces off the stick. Flyfire collects the lost puck from Cajun, but throws into space and finds a blue stick as the Sparks take it the other way, but tossed in deep and quickly turned back over to the orbit. Cajun sending it in deep. Panther is there, but it's over his head. Panther looking for a wrap attempt. Turned aside. I don't even know what happened there, but they almost got a chance late into the second period. But it is still a 1-0 game for the Sparks. We're going into the third period now. Sparks looking strong, getting lots of chances. Orbit seem to be struggling to maintain offensive pressure in their zone. Puck ends up getting away from them a lot. Maybe it's nerves, but maybe it is just this defensive pairing of Bagel and Zoob. We'll see how the third period goes, as puck drop is now. Echo winning it again. He seems to have this new face-off down. Panther manages to come away with it and get some momentum going. Great pass, finds Echo, but puts him in a tough spot with 3 in front of him. Shot goes over the net. A good look, but a tough angle. And Cajun plays it into Echo. Throws it behind the net, ends up on a blue stick. Lots of passing into empty space, but no one's home for the Ottawa Orbit. Glenn breaking out the puck for the Sparks. Tries to find Paco, but covered well by Cajun, who throws it in. Goes past Echo. And it's still behind the net. Echo with it now. Tries to find Panther, but it's a little hot. Flyfire tries to throw it on net, but blocked by Paco. Cajun keeping it in the offensive zone. Echo turned aside by Glenn. Flyfire turned aside by Paco. Zoob. And it ends up back in the defensive zone for the Sparks. Cajun with it. A good chance. One to beat. No, the back check from Glenn. Too strong. Panther gets pressure but fumbles it. Cajun comes away with it in his own defensive zone, breaking out the puck. Looks for Panther pretty deep in the neutral zone. Great pass off to Echo. Needs to get a shot off there. Overhandles a bit. Doesn't create anything. Glenn alone behind the defense. Shot on Katie goes wide. Defensive breakdown there for the Ottawa Orbit. Bailed out by their goalkeeper. As we still have the Sparks with offensive pressure, Katie turns that one aside with her stick. And Panther is going to take it, break it out. Finds its way through, but looks like the Sparks will be taking possession. Bagel around to Glenn, who sends it in deep to Zoob in the neutral zone. Intercepted by Flyfire. Flyfire carrying it to the middle shot and wide. 2.5 minutes left, halfway through the third period, and it is still a 1-0 game. ORB really need to start pressing. Bagel carrying, throws it across. Paco just past the reach of his stick. Paco manages to make something happen. Receives it without receiving it. Shot on. Katie turns it aside with a great pad save. Sparks still had possession, but Zoob ended up losing it, and it's coming the other way. Echo is deep. Pressured by Bagel. Bagel. The receive was flubbed by Echo, and Bagel takes advantage of it. Paco takes a weird turn off of the boards because, that happens. But Paco's still there to clean it up when Panther tries to pass it in deep. Paco carrying into the middle shot, ramped off of Flyfire's stick over Katie. And Cajun looking to get it in deep, start the transition the other way, blocked aside by Paco. Cajun trying to carry again, but stripped by Glenn. Flyfire coming into support. Glenn still stripping it loose. What a forecheck. Ends up on Echo's stick, who flies back to support his D-men. And Cajun with the puck in a lot of space. Nothing really happens there. Unfortunately, Bagel with good defense. Flyfire got the rebound, carried into the middle, took a shot, but turned aside by Gold Trader. 1 minute remaining in the third period. More pressure from the orbit. Flyfire carries into the zone. Looks for a cheeky little pass to Cajun, but it doesn't convert. And it is kept in the zone by Panther. Echo, shot, wide. Panther tries to clean it up, get it back in front, but turned aside. Sparks on their heels right now. Trying to play a tight defensive game, but it's broken out to Glenn, who tries to find Paco across, but maybe should have just got a shot on and played for rebound there. Paco with possession now. Great pass from Glenn. Paco walks one. Puts it into the middle to no one in particular. Bagel's there, though. And 10 seconds left. Orbit gets one more breakout and flubbed by Echo. And that's going to be a ball game. Glenn one more chance, turned aside by Katie. A great showing from both goalkeepers. Katie letting one. Oh, he must normally be a silent viewer. Cool. I'm not into the Twitch. Oh, the game started. Yeah, sorry. So, as we get into game two, early on, we have the Sparks with some offensive pressure. Orbit getting stuck in their zone. Orbit managing to break it out. Cajun, he had Panther with him, but pushed it too far forward. Flyfire. Get a shot, maybe? Good attempt, but Gold Trader turns it aside. Another shot on net. A little weak, but stuff can happen. Gold Trader turns that one aside, too. Early saves for the Gold Trader. Glenn carrying. Maybe a little bit of over carrying there. But he didn't have many pass options, so can you blame a Glenn? Noob tries to beat out Flyfire for the puck there, but everyone's already transitioning back. Flyfire turning it down deep to Panther. Gets a shot. Turned aside. I think Bagel with a block there. Wicked from Bagel. Blue throws it in deep for Zoob, who doesn't quite get there, but Bagel cleans it up. Gets a shot over Katie's head behind the net. Bagel comes away with it again. Looking for a pass. Zoob is there. Cannot carry through Flyfire. Kept in the zone, though. Katie plays it out. Red getting a little clumped up there. Come on. Thrown up to Panther, a little past him. Plays it behind the net. Goes for A wide wrap pass, but no one home. Flyfire picking it up in the neutral zone. Throwing it back in for the orbit. Echo is there. Throws it into Zoob. Panther ends up with it, but Bagel throws it out. Going all the way back into the orbit defensive zone. Flyfire saying hi to Katie before turning the puck back around, getting it to Cajun. Cajun looks to find Panther maybe there. Ends up finding a blue stick as Zoob is carrying it the other way. Turns it over, but Bagel cleans it up. And who turns it over again with no one behind him, but goes all the way in. Echo with Panther in front. Panther. Wow, that took a lot of crazy bounces. Gold Trader ends up pushing it aside. Great early start for the Gold Trader, keeping the Sparks in this one. Panther with a great look there. Puck bounces around a bit off of a few sticks, but goes wide. Coming the other way, the Sparks. Paco with it. Throws it to the middle for Zoob. Gets a shot, ramps it to the sky. Let's see what happens here. Glenn carrying into the corner. Puck was going crazy. And thrown all the way back to Bagel in the Sparks defensive zone, who throws it back into the orbit defensive zone for Flyfire. Paco strips him. Wrap attempt. It got a little clogged up, so it pops out back in front. Into the neutral zone. We have Echo with it for the orbit, coming the other way. He's got two supporters. One turned off. Flyfire was kind of lurking, but Echo took a shot. Oh, Flyfire in front alone. Turned aside by the Gold Trader. Rebound collected by Glenn. Gold Trader with many clutch saves so far early in this one. Sparks better be buying him a beer after this game. Hope Gold Trader is over 21. Paco plays it into Glenn. Tough pass to receive. Glenn gets knocked around a bit behind Katie's net before he gets sent in deep, but Bagel intercepts, going the other way. Sparks, Paco, walks one in the middle, shot, goes a little high and wide. Glenn collects behind the net, Paco in front. Katie turns it aside. Glenn really looking to pounce on that one in front, but Katie with a quick stick. Bagel finds Glenn on the breakout in the neutral zone. Glenn looking for Paco deep in the offensive zone. Gets stripped. Good work, Cajun. Good work, Panther. Paco ends up stripping it again. Great forecheck. Bagel hitting my camera in the face. It kind of hurt. Blue ends up with it. I lied. It looked like it was going to end up on Paco's stick, but it gets lost. Maybe that was Glenn. Who knows? I'm slow. It's late. Good chance for the orbit. Turned aside. Quick stick from Zoob, and Glenn with no one in front of him going the other way. Flyfire pestering behind. Katie with a huge save. Rebound goes to Glenn, but chance was turned aside again, and Glenn ends up popping it out in front of Paco, who sends it over the net. So after one, we are at 0-0 again. Good looks from both sides. Don't want to give an edge to either one because some of those pucks could have went in, but shouts out to Katie and the Gold Trader for keeping it even. And if you missed the first one in this series, we have the Ottawa Sparks with a 1-0 win in Game 1 against the Ottawa Orbit. As we look to decide Game 2, so far tied. Going into Period 2. Face-off, played all the way back into the Sparks zone. Zoob with it. Challenged by Echo, but Bagel comes away with it. I wonder if Marcus is Frog Tea. Love me some VR chat, Marcus. And we have Flyfire getting a shot off. Turned aside by Gold Trader. Echo was in with him, but he looked off the pass and tried to do it himself. Forecheck was strong from the orbit, and Cajun dumps it back in. Paco takes it, though. Paco looking for Glenn. Weakly played, but the Sparks come away with it. Have it in the offensive zone. Glenn with Zoob coming in from the other side. Turned aside by Flyfire. Great defensive stick. Paco with it into the middle. Wow, what a shot. What a save from Katie. Hard to save them when they're able to skate into the middle like that. But Katie does it. Paco getting some more Time with the puck on his stick, stealing it in the neutral zone, but it's turned aside by Cajun. And he tries to get it in deep, but turned aside by Bagel. Bagel, once again, right on top of the puck in his defensive zone. What a force on defense Bagel has been, working with Zub. As the Orbit are not able to really get the puck moving at all in the offensive zone right now. Thrown up and over by Panther. It's going to land on Paco's stick, who goes for a pass, bounces it off of Echo's stick, and throws it deep to no one. We have Cajun getting challenged by Zub. Ends up getting picked up by Flyfire. Paco challenges with a hit. And it is deep into the Orbit offensive zone. But Sparks come away with it and transition quickly. Bagel carrying into center ice. Tries for a little pass off, but it was covered. So Glenn flips it into the neutral zone. And good forecheck from Bagel and Paco working together to keep it in the neutral zone and deep into the offensive zone for them. Bagel carrying. I can't even keep up. They're just moving the puck, making great plays. Glenn, shot, wide. Flyfire trying to work around Paco, a tough task. They have a 4-on-2. Will they do anything with it? Flyfire carrying a bit much. Gold Trader covers up that open 5 hole with his stick, and it's turned aside. 4-on-2, you'd hope to see more puck movement, but you can't blame Flyfire to try and make something happen. They haven't had a goal yet in this series. Puck is sent deep. Echo with it, fighting, loses it. Bagel to Glenn. Glenn playing it in deep, protecting the puck, trying to get a jam chance in off Katie, but turned aside. We have Zub playing it around to Paco, who tosses it across to Zub again. Zub in the middle. Puck is still loose in the middle. Ends up getting sent wide. I think Zub's stick did that, but didn't even hit Katie. Glenn steals it in the neutral zone. He's got Paco and Zub with him. Really high pass. Got away from Glenn. Panther tries to get it out of the zone, but Bagel keeps it, puts it on. Would have went wide, but Katie is there to send it into the neutral zone. Echo carrying and over carrying. Loses it to Glenn, who has a chance alone. Shot. Katie saves it. Again, great performance from both goalkeepers. A minute left in this second period in game 2 of the series. Zub taking it in the neutral zone off of a turnover. Finds Glenn on the wing. Can't quite collect it. And ends up on Paco's stick in the middle of the ice in the offensive zone, but he's challenged immediately. Gets it back to Bagel, who is carrying it behind the net. Puts it in front, but turned aside. Glenn was there. And Echo has a chance to carry, but challenged by Paco. He takes a wild shot. Gold Trader just looks it off as it goes wide. Glenn behind his own net, getting challenged by Echo. Echo with a good challenge, a good forecheck. Flyfire flies in there. Puck bounces out to Cajun. Shot, turned aside. Good save by the Gold Trader. As we end period 2, still 0-0. This one feels like, right, you guys all have such good handed. That's D1 for you, Flyfire. Welcome to the big show. Everybody has great mechanics. Yeah. Hard to carry past folks when everybody has a base level skill like this. And Glenn with some light flirting. Let's see if that gets into the mental, as Flyfire is surely blushing now. As we go to the face-off, Paco wins one. He was saving his best for late in the second game. Shot. Oh! Katie gets a stick on it, but it flutters in over her shoulder and into the net. Paco doing it unassisted off of the face-off. Walks it in, takes a shot from the top of the circle, and just finds the near corner. Very similar to the Bagel. Not the same at all, but, you know. Shot placement wise, finds the near corner. I think this came from the same side too. Katie's going to be beating herself up because she did everything she could. We have a 1-0 game in the third period. Echo overhandling for sure. Could have fast hands, but I'll save my commentary there. So Sparks with it in the offensive zone. Paco puts it into space for Zoob. Takes a weird bounce off of Paco's stick. He's challenged, but turns around, puts it in front, finds a red stick. Sparks retain possession. Good work, Zoob. Great turn. Puts it onto Katie, but turned behind the net. Red, an absolute clusterfuck, and I don't regret saying that at all. It was a mess. Sparks dealing possession in the neutral zone again. Absolute animals in the neutral zone. The forecheck from Paco and Glenn is filthy. Flyfire taking a long shot, turned aside by Zoob. Echo trying to get a tip. Echo fighting for it. Handling. Smoother handles that time than the erratic stuff we saw. Frustration after that goal earlier. Puts it in front gently but turned aside by the Sparks. Panther fighting for it. Not able to trip it though as Zoob transitions it to offense for the Sparks. Got Paco and Glenn with him. Maybe doing a little bit too much there, but finds Glenn around. Zoob gets blamed for doing too much. Oh, it's a great shot attempt from Bagel, but turned aside by Katie. Finishing my thought, Zoob gets blamed for doing too much sometimes, but usually it is in search of creating passing lanes. I'll give him credit for that, where not a lot of people will. Great work by Paco stripping that off of Cage and keeping it in the offensive zone. That forecheck is lethal once again. Bagel covering up Echo as well as he can. Zoob there to help out. Finds Cajun. We have a shot attempt. Way over Gold Trader's head. Zoob with some BM. Love to see it, honestly. Echo completely tilted, as I noted earlier. You just gotta eat that, big dog. Don't be typing. You're in a D1 match. Embarrassing. And Glenn throws it in deep to Paco. Wait, that's a beautiful pass. Beautiful vision on the ice to find Paco streaking. But 3 defenders there for the ORB. But Paco still strips it from them and gets a chance. Katie turns it aside. Thank you, Katie. But the Orbit will be saying all night, even though they might not come away with a win, with 2 minutes left in the third period, down 1. Flyfire carrying it in. Shot. Gets tipped by a Spark. But goes wide. Gold Trader wearing his brown pants tonight. As Bagel calmly carries it out of the defensive zone. Not so calmly. Gets it almost stripped, but carries through and sends it on. Zoob tries to get a tip. Ramp does not deploy correctly. As Flyfire comes the other way. Looks for Cajun. Misses. Panther's going to come away with it, though, for the Orbit. I lied. Bagel stripped Panther right away. Flyfire intercepts a pass intended for Paco. Cajun gets crunched on, though, as the Sparks take possession. Paco has Glenn with him. Tries to chip it over there, but great D from, I believe it was Flyfire. Flyfire getting just eaten up by that forecheck. Bagel sticking his nose in there that time. Zoob all the way back, challenges a pass up to Cajun, and turns it the other way. Last man back challenging there. Bold, but he wants to get this win. A pass in front for the Orbit. Not unable to get a shot on was Echo, who is maybe letting his frustrations get to him. Ooh, good pass to Panther in front, who tips it wide, unfortunately. The one-timer was not there. Echo doing the most to get his team to overtime, but 20 seconds left in the third period. Flyfire carrying it in the neutral zone. Sends it in deep. Turned aside by Zoob. We have 15 seconds left. Katie coming out to handle the puck. Sends it in deep. Challenged by Paco, who turns it aside. Glenn carries 7, 6, 5. Katie sends it in deep. Echo's there, but defended well by Bagel. And that'll be game 2. Also going